Hey guys, I'm trying to record this video and I just I can't watch this or edit this any longer. I know it's really really long. I just needed to get all of my emotions out and talk about it. But I don't want to edit this anymore because I've already cried like 3 times, and this is just gonna be how this video is just gonna be how it is. It's just my response to everything. It's my raw reaction. If I stutter or mess up, I'm not going to edit it. I'm not going to do anything like that because I just emotionally can't handle it right now. As you can read from the title, this is just this is a video about me having a miscarriage. I literally recorded it yesterday when I woke up. And, it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still going through the emotional trauma and everything like that. And I just can't do it. I can't edit this. So I edit it. I did edit it, but usually when I edit stuff, I go back and I edit it just to make it look presentable. But I just can't do it with this one. I really can't. I hope this video helps somebody, or touches somebody, or just somebody to really that can relate to what I've gone through, because it's just I don't know. I don't even know if I don't know. I really am having a second thoughts about putting this up. I It's so long, and I don't know. I think I'm just going to do it anyways. And after I put this up, I mean, if you guys have questions, you can comment them or email me. My email is in my description. Um yeah, but after this video, I'm not going to do any more it's not going to be any more sad videos or anything like that. It's going to be back to vlogs. The next time I vlog is probably going to be me preparing for Thanksgiving, just so I can just get back in the swing of things, cuz that's what I need to do. Um so yeah, here's the video.
Okay. It took me a while to get this set up and everything, but I think I'm okay now. I didn't know whether I should come on here and talk about what I've been going through for the past month and a half, close to a month and a half. But Michael said that, well, of course I didn't want to say anything until, I got his permission, because, it's not only my life, it's his life too. I asked him if it was okay if I talked about it with you guys, and he didn't mind. I know you guys have been probably wondering, why I haven't been uploading. And like I told you in a couple of vlogs before that every time I say, hey, we're back to our regular scheduled program, or I'm gonna be uploading these days, life always hits me and something always happens. So this time what happened was, I'm just gonna start from the beginning. I I found out I was pregnant. So on October 8th, my period comes out, and this video might be a little bit TMI. So if you don't have the stomach for it, or if you just don't want to hear it, it's not gonna be that too much into detail. But you know how some people are. But my period's like clockwork. So when I didn't get it on the 8th, I was I just thought that it was only gonna be a day or so later. It was gonna come on in the middle of the night or something. But something told me to just take a pregnancy test. And Michael brought a pregnancy test when we were back in Florida because he thought I was pregnant, but I wasn't, and I knew I wasn't pregnant. So I had an extra one left. So I took that one, and it was positive, but it was a really faint positive. And I was like, what in the world? I was shook. I was like, no way. I'm not pregnant. This can't happen. And then, I almost, my anxiety just went up, because like I told you guys before, my pregnancies are really, really hard on me. And with Elijah, when I was pregnant with Elijah, I cried pretty much every single day because it was just me and Noah for so long, and I didn't know how he was gonna react to having another sibling, and I didn't want him to think that I didn't love him any like less, and it was just hard. And then all the like complications I had with Elijah on top of that, it was just hard. And with it was kind of like the same thing. Like, how am I gonna spread my time between three people? And like, my kids aren't like hard to deal with, but they are a handful. And I'm just like, how am I going to do this? Like, they are a handful. You turn around for like 5 seconds and they're into something. Like, if you guys follow my Snapchats, then you would know that they're always into something. Like, everything was just running through my head. Like, how are you gonna do this? How are you gonna do that? And all this other stuff. And Michael, he's so nonchalant. So he was just like, okay, like, it wasn't really a big deal to him. I guess when you're in the military or whatever, you have to go to the hospital so they can confirm your pregnancy so you can start getting your like treatment or going to the doctor or whatever. So I did, and over here in Germany, you have to get a referral. Like, they don't have like on post, like an on post hospital where you can be seen there for like anything. You have to get a referral to go off post to be seen by an OBGYN. So that's what I was doing, but those referrals take about a week. And I was like, and Michael was leaving the next week. So I was like, I want him to be there for the first appointment, like, and he's gonna be gone for almost a month, and this is just not good. So the lady, she was really, really nice, and she just like fast forwarded all the paperwork, and she got me an appointment like 2 days later. So we went to the appointment, and the doctor was just like, she did an ultrasound and everything. She's like, oh, it's still too early to tell, but we can still do an ultrasound if you want. And so we did an ultrasound, and there was nothing like inside. We saw a gestational sac, but there was nothing inside of me, no baby or anything. So she was like, okay, come back next week. And next week Michael would be gone, so I had like both the kids with me, and Elijah is still so attached to me. So when we went, I had like had their snacks, I had the iPad, like everything. And but he couldn't, the way the stroller was positioned, he couldn't see me when the lady was trying to do the ultrasound on me. So he like flipped out. And I don't know, like I've never experienced like Germans like being rude, but this is like my first time experiencing that. And I didn't like that at all because they weren't rude to me. Like, she wasn't rude to me, she was rude to my kids, and I didn't like that. Like, you have to understand, they're still kids, and if he doesn't see me, or if he thinks you're gonna hurt me, because that's what he thought, he's gonna flip his crap. So he's screaming and everything like that, and she's telling me, oh, it's been a week and I still don't see anything, you should be like 5 weeks, almost 6. So they took some blood or whatever, and she said my HCGs, I'll put that down of what that is. It's basically the hormones you get when you're pregnant. She was saying that they were really, really low. And I've never, if I did get blood drawn, I've never knew what like my hormone levels were. So when she said that, like, I was freaking out, and I just, went on Dr. Google and Googled everything, and then like, I was literally going back to the doctor's office every week. So when it was like week 7, I was 7 weeks pregnant, and she was just like, and by that time I started to get like cramps, and she was like, oh, it looks like you either have
A
a
topic.
pregnancy or you have a blighted ovum. And
A
a
topic.
pregnancy is basically when you get pregnant, but the baby doesn't like stick to your uterus, it's in your fallopian tube or outside of your uterus. So she was like, yeah, but there's like no babies growing or anything like that. So in my mind, she was like, you should go to the hospital or whatever, and then think about, like, we'll give you like your options of what you should do, either have a D&C at that point. And then she was just like, oh, like, you know, it's really, really serious, you need to go to the hospital, you could die and everything like that. And I'm just like, I'm freaking out, like, I'm by myself and I don't know, like, this is my first time dealing with this. I go to the hospital, and the lady that did my ultrasound, she was like, well, your gestational sac is only measuring 5 weeks and 3 days, so it's still too early and then to tell. But she said within a week or two, you might see a baby. The first doctor that I went to, she's like looking in there, but she's like literally like not measuring anything, and that's like was making me mad. Like, she didn't like take the time to measure anything, and I don't know if that's just like a German thing, but I don't know. I feel like she wasn't really like explaining things to me. And this doctor at the emergency room, she took her time. She explained things to me, and she was like, well, basically. And then she said on the ultrasound, I had like, oh, what is the name of it? It's a basically what it is. It's like a blood behind the gestational sac, and it was pretty big. And she was like, that could either be the miscarriage or basically like, you know how like you bruise yourself and you have um, blood on like inside of you or whatever. She was like, it'll let itself go like eventually, and it'll eventually heal up, or it's gonna be a miscarriage. She's like, right now, there's a 50-50 chance that you could have this baby, or you'll end up in a miscarriage. And she's like, let me take your blood, and I'll call you with the results. And then she called me with the results. And then she was like, yeah, your hormone level is at like 3,000 and something. It was almost 4. And she was like, and that's like a good range for like 5 weeks and 3 days or whatever. So she was saying that the baby would grow, and that gave me hope or whatever. So I was like, okay. And then another thing that gave me hope was every time I went to the doctor each week, they kept on asking me, oh, are you bleeding? Are you bleeding? Are you bleeding? And I'm like, no, no, no. So, and I wasn't bleeding at the time. And then the week after that, I went to my first doctor, and she was like, yeah, I still don't see a baby. And she was like, she spent a while inside of my uterus, and she's like, and then she saw something, and she's like, I don't know if that's the blood or if that's a heartbeat. It's really like, I can't really tell. That gave me another inch of hope, you know. And so she took my blood, and then she called back like 2 days later for the to tell me the results. And then my hormones rose to like 5,000 and something. And I think it was almost like 6,000. And then I read when your HCG levels get to like over 6,000, that's when like you get um like that's like when the baby starts to have a heartbeat and everything like that. So I was pretty like psyched about that. And then because the first time I took the pregnancy test, I saw a faint line, I was just like, I don't know, maybe like it wasn't like, I don't know, it just didn't register with me that I was pregnant. So I took another pregnancy test, and I'll put the clip of it because I recorded it. Um, and then when I took the second one, like instantly it appeared. So I just got out the shower and getting ready for my doctor's appointment, and I am going to take my oh, it's upside down. I'm gonna take this pregnancy test. I know this is weird, and don't judge me. I saved all my pregnancy tests. I have Noah's, I have Elijah's, and now I have this one's, right? And I'm gonna show you how faint this line is. Okay, can y'all see? Okay, look. You don't even see a line, do you? I mean, you can see it a little bit, but not a lot. Like, you can barely tell it. Okay. Do you see how faint that is? I mean, it looks clear. It kind of looks like a line there on the phone, but if you look at it, like if you look at it right now, like I don't really see a line. Can you guys? I mean, of course you guys, maybe you guys can see it. I took this about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. So before I go to my doctor's appointment, because I really, really, really don't believe. I don't know, because I didn't see anything the first time and I have no symptoms really. So my mind is like, are you really? So I'm about to pee on this stick, and it should by now. Supposedly, I'm supposed to be 6 weeks right now, about to be 7. So if I really am, then the line will come up like brighter. You know what I mean? So let's do this. See? Oh, it's not been tampered with or anything. Whoa. Like, it's only been a few seconds and it's freaking clear as day now. Look, that is a big ass plus. Like, there's no denying that shit. Okay. Do you see this plus? There's no denying that, like, at all. So, whoa. I wasn't expecting it. Literally within seconds, it was getting dark. So, I mean, this is. I guess I am pregnant. Yowzers. I really don't know how to feel right now. I mean, obviously, I took like 4 pregnancy tests before this. Like, I took a pregnancy test on like when I missed my period, but I showed you that one and it was super light. Then I had to go to the clinic here, like the hospital. There's really no hospital here on post, like it should be, but it's called a clinic. So I went to the clinic and it was a positive pregnancy test. And then I went to my doctor's appointment, like my doctor's office, and it was a positive pregnancy test. But there wasn't anything in my stomach yet. Like, I didn't see anything, and that's the first time, you know. So, wow, I'm gonna text Michael and show him how positive this is. This is crazy. And well, yeah. I guess we're gonna see how far along I am now. Yo, this shit is wild. And I don't know. I kind of feel like I don't know. So like that's when it really sucked in. Like, oh snap! Like, I really am pregnant. And I didn't have any symptoms. I had a really bad headache and my face like broke out. But other than that, like, I didn't have any symptoms or anything like that. And I was asking my first doctor, like, you know, is it normal not to have symptoms? And she's like, sometimes you don't have symptoms, but most of the time you do. And she's like, I don't think you're gonna get any symptoms because I think it's gonna end in a miscarriage. And she was just like telling me that I should go get a D&C and everything like that. And I'm just like, okay, one doctor told me that my hormones are okay for 5 weeks and 3 days. You're telling me that I'm like 7 weeks or whatever, like close to 8 weeks, and I should just go and get a D&C, but you're not telling me like I don't know. I just didn't want to believe it at the time, and I think one of my kids are up. I just didn't want to believe it at the time. Yeah, Noah's up. I didn't want to believe it at the time, but she wasn't really like giving me, like explaining anything to me. I felt like she was just like, yeah, this is what you need to do, or blah blah blah. She just wasn't explaining. So she called me, and when she told me that my hormones was like 5,000 and something, she just told me that I should go to the hospital because by this time I'm like 8 weeks and there should be something in there. So and there was nothing. It was just a gestational sac. There was no yolk sac, no nothing. So I went to the hospital and I saw another doctor, and she was just like, yeah, you know, basically you need to have a D&C. And I was just like, you know, she scheduled me for a DNC that Friday, and Michael was in that. And by this time, Michael's home or whatever. So, and I've been like keeping him intact with everything that's been going on. So, she makes an appointment for me to have a D&C, and I'm like, okay, or whatever. And then by then, I'm like, okay, at this point, I'm like, if I'm gonna have a miscarriage, I'd rather me have it naturally. And then I felt like betrayed by my body because every time they're asking me if I'm bleeding, if I'm bleeding, if I'm bleeding, I'm like, no, 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 I'm not bleeding at all. So I'm like, why isn't my body doing this naturally? Like, I don't want to go under, I don't want to have the surgery or whatever. Like, what's wrong with me? And then Michael had to go into work, and if I had the surgery, I couldn't go, like, I couldn't drive myself or whatever. Um, so he had to be there with me, but he had to go into work. And I was trying to call them and tell them, like, if I can reschedule, and they didn't answer their phone, and it was just a mess. So that day I didn't go. And then that was on Friday. And then Sunday, I started bleeding a little bit. So I was like, oh, I was like, is this like, a miscarriage? And I read, just Googling stuff, YouTubing stuff, and everything like that. And I saw this one YouTube video where this girl said she had the same thing I had, like the sac of blood behind the gestational sac, and she started bleeding and everything like that. She still had the baby, it was fine. I was like, that gave me a little bit of hope, but I wasn't really bleeding a lot. Like, it was more of spotting, and like when I wiped, and then Monday I started bleeding a little bit more, but I was just like, and then I started Googling miscarriages and videos on YouTube about miscarriages and everything like that. And that's like, that is, Monday is when it like set into me, like, that I'm actually having a miscarriage. And I, it was just, I didn't know how to feel about that. Um, then Tuesday came, and I made an appointment with a different doctor because I'm like, the first one wasn't really explaining me anything. She was just telling me that I needed to do this. And I'm just like, explain it to me. Like, why do I need to do this and everything like that? What's going on? She was just telling me there was no baby and I need to get a D&C. And I'm just like, okay. So this doctor, I went to him, and I was telling him, I just want another opinion. I kind of know this is like already happening. I already started bleeding and everything like that. I just want a second opinion. So he did an ultrasound on me, internal one, and all the ultrasounds that I have is internal or whatever. And he was like, yeah, like, it looks like you're having a miscarriage or whatever. And he was like, he looked up in my uterus, and he was like, it doesn't look like you have an atomic pregnancy or whatever, because they could see it from the ultrasound if I did. And he was saying that it just looks like I have a blighted ovum, which is basically when the baby like doesn't grow, or it stops growing. There, I'm guessing, I really don't like understand it right now, but I'm guessing at 5 weeks and 3 days it stopped growing. So I didn't have a yolk sac, I didn't have like anything, like the baby just didn't develop at all. So that was a hard pill to swallow. And he was like, well, um, even though you're having a miscarriage, you would, a lot of people still get the D&C just so they can take out everything and they don't have to worry about anything. Yeah, so he was just like, I can call the hospital for you, and we can schedule you a D&C. And I was like, do you think I need one? And he was like, yeah. He's like, if you're not bleeding as much and it's just a little bit, then I feel like you should have your D&C or whatever. And he was like, but it's not necessary, and it's not like literally life or death for you to get it if you're already bleeding or whatever. And he was like, but if you're not bleeding a lot within the next day or two, then I feel like you should have it. And I was like, okay. You know, he sat down and explained everything to me, so that made me feel better. And literally as soon like as I left the doctor's office, because he did the internal sonogram, I started cramping so bad. I was cramping so bad. When I got home, like I guess like the stuff, like the tissue and stuff that was inside of me, like literally like blood clots were coming out of me. It was a lot to deal with, and um, I called the hospital and because they scheduled me for a DNC on Thursday. So I went to the hospital. I called them and I was like, well, do I still need the DNC if everything's like coming out of me now? And she, if like all the blood clots and everything are coming out of me now. And she was just like, come in and we're gonna do an ultrasound on you again, and we'll let you know from there. So I go in and they do an ultrasound on me, and basically everything is out of me except for like 1 centimeter of tissue. And she's like, instead of doing your DNC on Thursday, we're gonna do it on Wednesday. And this was this week. She was like, you need to go to anesthesiologist, fill out some paperwork. The doctor's gonna talk to you about what you're gonna do. If I was gonna do the DNC, they gave me these little 2 pills to put up, inside of me so it could soften my cervix so that they could go up in there and clean out everything. But they gave me something else instead that I can take orally, and she said that should help. I guess it was medicine, the same medicine that I could, but taking it orally. I had to take it every 8 hours, and it was 5 tablets, and just to flush everything out of my system, I guess, and that worked. So I was cramping. I didn't want to be around anybody. I didn't talk to anybody. My mom was blowing up my phone, and I honestly just wanted to be by myself. Like, I didn't want to just talk. Like, it was just a bad time. And seeing, like, all those blood clots, like, seeing the blood clots come out of me and me cramping the way I was, like, I can only imagine what, like, I can't even imagine how other women feel when they actually do have a baby inside of them and they see the baby come out or they just lose their pregnancy. Like, I feel like I'm okay mentally just because I know that there wasn't a baby inside of me. But if there was, I don't know how I would have like responded, to be honest. And I think God knows that I probably would have been messed up by it. I'm like traumatized, but I'm not as traumatized. And I think God knows that. So I feel like he kind of like spared me with that whole situation. And I still take like, I feel like I still lost a baby. Just because the baby didn't develop, there was still supposed to be one there. So I still take it as a loss, and it's still kind of hard. I don't want to cry. It's still kind of hard, you know, like watching people like have like little babies, and it's like literally ever since like I started the miscarriage, like I see nothing but babies now. Like going to the hospital, I literally saw like 5 newborns, like with their parents walking in the same direction I was walking in, or I'm watching something on TV and it's about somebody being pregnant or somebody having a baby, and it's sad, and I get into my feelings a little bit, but I'm just thankful that, like I said, it's not as bad as I know it could have been. And literally my heart goes out to everybody that's ever had a miscarriage, because it's not fun, and it's painful, and it's emotional, and it drains you, and I don't know, I kind of feel like my body kind of betrayed me. And maybe this just wasn't the right time for us to have a baby. And I don't know. After this whole experience, I wouldn't want to have a baby in Germany anyways. um, I don't know. But after I saw that pregnancy, the second pregnancy test, I was getting excited about having a baby. And then I kind of feel like my mind and my intuition was telling me that the pregnancy wasn't gonna happen. And I felt like I should have listened to it because I didn't have any symptoms, and I kept on telling people, well, when somebody confirms and tells me that I have a baby inside of me, that's when I'll freak out. And not freak out, but that's when I'll really think that I'm pregnant. But I didn't feel like I was pregnant, so I was just like, I don't feel like I am, so I don't think I am. But I feel like that was doubt. Like, that was doubt because I was scared of being pregnant. And it literally turned out to be true. So, I don't know. It's just a lot. And then I feel like me speaking those words into the atmosphere kind of like played a part in it. I don't know. It's just a lot, and we're going through a rough time. Michael's really helped me out with kids, and I felt like I missed so much because I couldn't like be around them. Because they like to like jump on me and like want me to do things, and I had to like take it slow for a couple of days. But I'm like bleeding. I'm spotting now. Like everything seems to be gone, but yesterday I was still bleeding, and like 3 days before, 2 days before that, I was bleeding a lot. It was cramping a lot. So I slept in a different room. I really was just like to myself, and I missed them so much. And uh, and I know like, it's not like people think of like the woman that's going through having a miscarriage, but if you have a partner, your partner goes through it too. So I try to make sure that Michael's okay, and I know he tries to like put on a brave face for me and everything like that, but I know he's I don't know. I don't think he kind of like I think he understands, but he lost a baby too, so I think he just tries to like not think about it. Like when something's on his mind really heavy, he like just tries to make himself busy, and that's what he's been doing, like cleaning nonstop and like cracking jokes. And even though he cracks jokes all the time, it's like extra now. And I try to like, I know he doesn't want to talk about it or whatever, but I don't want him to like bottle up that stuff inside. And he got me. He's trying. Like, he brought me pads. He makes sure. And I haven't really been like eating. I probably eat like twice a day, if that. And he has to make me eat because I don't eat. Um, he makes sure like I took my medicine. He took really good care of the kids, and usually I'm just like hovering over him, like the kids need to eat at this time, they need to take a bath at this time, they need to wake up at this time, you need to do this at this time. But he did a really good job. He did. And even though he brought me the wrong, I usually wear like Kotex, the pads or whatever, and I was like, can you get me those or whatever? And he did. Bless his little heart. He got me Kotex, but there was a panty liners. So, but I'm not bleeding like heavily. So those panty liners, they're perfect right now. So, at least he tried, and he saw his Kotex. But yeah, I can now like actually do stuff with the kids, and I'm happy about that. Um, but they've gotten closer to Michael throughout the situation. That kind of makes me sad. Like, I don't know, now it's daddy, daddy, daddy when it used to be mommy, mommy, mommy. And I'm like, dang, I'm gone for a couple of days and guys just abandoned me. But I'm probably just like really needy and emotional, and they probably feel that. So I just wanted to update you guys on what's going on and why haven't I uploaded and everything like that. And I hope this video makes sense and I'm not just like talking all over the place. And one thing that I do regret is that I told my dad, and he told like his mom and his dad and his sister, and I just wish we never really told anybody, you know. And we thought like we didn't think anything by it just because we told everybody so early with Elijah. Like I think I was probably like just hit 4 weeks when I found out I was pregnant with Elijah, but I was already like showing with him, and we were going down to Florida for vacation because that's when he just got home from the pool tournament. And but I was already showing, and I had real bad nausea, and I didn't want anybody to be like, "Why are you throwing up all the time?" And they would have figured it out by themselves. But I didn't think anything of it because it was the same thing. Like I had a fate line with Elijah, so I thought this one, you know, I had a fate line with this one, so I just thought everything was okay. It's really early, and I started recording this at like 5 o'clock in the morning just because nobody was up, and I didn't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next